Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom, and welcome. We're streaming right now to everyone out there, Patrick? Okay, well, the Groblovskis I know are watching in Connecticut. We thank them for allowing us to be able to, we'll have more people watching on streaming than possibly anyone who's here, but we're so appreciative that you did it in honor of, you're both 39 years old, which is incredible, but it's also celebrating your 55th anniversary. So to the Groblovskis, we say thank you for doing this for us. Stay healthy, and we want to see you come back possibly for the holidays. We'll begin with the lighting of our candles. We're down to a thin number who might want to. Oh, go ahead, come on up. May the Shabbat candles that we now light inspire us to see justly and gently, to look honestly with kindness, and to see what's holy in each other. On the side, there's a little black strip.
Those are pretty, but they're tricky.
There we go.
Oh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shall Shabbat.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom, thank you.
Page 4, Hinei ma tov, how good and pleasant it is for us to be together. We join together.
Hinei ma tov u'manayim shavet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shavet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov shavet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov shavet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim 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 shavet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov, hinei ma tov, yalalai, yalalalalai. Hinei ma tov, hinei ma tov, yalalai, yalalalalai. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shavet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shavet achim gam yachad.
Turn to page 8 at the bottom of the page, and we'll continue with our family prayer. May we never take for granted the gift of Shabbat as we sit nestled in the Rocky Mountains, sharing this humble moment with family and friends. May the satisfaction of celebrating Shabbat hearten our spirits. Let Shabbat peace bring quiet to our souls. Allow this time set aside for song and prayer to bring us closer together in thoughts and deeds. Space we share become our place of devotion, glowing with reverence and filled with our traditions. And may the end of this week encourage us to examine our actions. Let us look ahead toward the new week so we'll be worthy of all of God's blessings. The top of page 8 is we welcome the angels of peace. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Now, how many miles is Susie riding tomorrow? 140? 104 miles. Then she should be singing Esainai, that I lift my eyes to the mountains. Well, we'll offer a special prayer for 104 miles of riding in Leadville. Okay. Esainai, the top of page 12, as we lift our eyes to the mountains.
Esainai el harim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Esainai el harim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim ba'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim ba'aretz. Esainai el harim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Esainai el harim, me'ayin yavo ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim ba'aretz. Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim ba'aretz.
And now traveling back to the 16th century to the town of Svat, we join together Lechado D, the center of mysticism, as we welcome the Sabbath bride.
Lechadodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet belitchila. Lechadodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, כי הם מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נשוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קום יציר מתוך ההפכה, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 בני שבת נקבלה.
Bottom of page 18, we rise, face the rear of the sanctuary as we greet the Sabbath bride.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה.
You may be seated. Who has never had a chance for Just for Today? Seems like we've gone around for the last 8 years with everyone having a chance to read it. Would someone like to lead us responsibly on page 23? Okay.
Just for today, I will live one day only, forgetting yesterday and tomorrow, and not trying to solve the whole problem of life at once.
Just for today, I will be afraid of life and death, unafraid to enjoy the beautiful and be happy. People are as happy as they make up their minds to be.
Just for today, I will adjust myself to what is, and not try to adjust everything to suit me. If I cannot have what I like, I will try to like what I have.
Just for today, I'll be agreeable, cheerful, charitable, do my best, praise people for what they can do, not criticize them for what they cannot do. And if I find fault, I'll forgive it and forget it. Will try not to improve nor regulate anybody except myself.
Just for today, I will have a plan. I may not follow it exactly, but I will have one. It will save me from worry, hurry, and indecision.
Just for today, I'll get people off my nerves and not get on theirs. I'll appreciate them for what they do and what they are.
Just for today, I will not show it if my feelings are hurt.
Just for today, I'll find a little time for quiet, to relax, and to realize what life is and can be. Time to think about God and get a better perspective of myself.
Just for today, I will look at life with fresh eyes and discover the wonder of it. I will know that as I give to the world, so the world will give to me.
Thank you. We'll turn to page 24 and rise, continue with our call to worship, and join together with the cantor, Baruch Hu.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai. 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 Baruch המבורך לעולם ועד. המבורך, המבורך לעולם ועד.
May be seated. Page 28 at the bottom of the page. Let's continue responsively in English. As we join together on this Shabbat Eve, we take in the greatness of God's creations. As the snow melts from the mountain peaks on high, our worries of the week flow away. And as the mountain springs give forth fresh water, let our souls feel refreshed. As the creeks join streams and become the great rivers, let our faith and love grow stronger. And as we stand in awe of the great beauty of the Rocky Mountains, let our faith in God increase and renew. And let this Shabbat be a time of peace. The top of page 28 as we join together, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Amcha Avta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu lemadeta, otanu lemadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu, uvkumenu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla, ve'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim, baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael.
We don't know who wrote the song, right?
Which?
That
Ahavat
one.
Olam?
That's the only thing I would have liked to have put in the book, is some of these authors of who wrote some of the music.
That might have-
Because this isn't one that I grew up with, but
Ahavat Olam may be a Jeff Klepper tune, but I'm
beautiful.
not positive.
just puts us in the mood for the Shema that has to be sung by 3 little girls. Lila, if you come first, you get the microphone.
Bye-bye.
All the way up there, huh?
That's fine, you can be up. Lila can hold it, that's okay.
The best part is
Get close
Malhuto.
together.
Okay, face this way. Let's join together.
Hold it. Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad, Baruch, Shem Kevod, Mahuto, Leolam, Va'ed.
Okay, and we'll continue the middle of the page.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
One of the nice things that the cantor and I both get to experience after the service are all the people that are out there from we don't know are watching, especially San Diego. I know there's a large group there, and Joan is watching. And it's nice because they comment and they say, well, I really like the song that you chose for this one. And I'm thinking, it's created this whole new thing that we started last year by sending it out virtually. And we have no idea who's really watching throughout the country, but we're appreciative that we were able to have this sponsored so we could send it out one more week. We'll join together, Micha Mocha, the middle of page 32.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע לפני משה, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
May we always feel protected in the shadow of your wings, for blessed are you, O God, whose shelter of peace spreads over us, over all people, and over Jerusalem. Hashkivenu, the top of page 34.
Shelter us in place, shelter us in peace, shelter us in love, shelter us in love, shelter us in place, shelter us in peace, shelter us in love, shelter us in love. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu l'shalom, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu l'shalom. Shelter us in place, shelter us in peace, shelter us in love, shelter us in love, shelter us in place, shelter us in peace, shelter us in love, shelter us in love. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu l'shalom, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, Hashkivenu Lishalom.
From the book of Exodus, in 6 days the Lord created the heavens and the earth. The seventh day he ceased from his work and rested. Page 36 will join together. Vishamru.
Veshamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam. Veshamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam. Beini ubein Bnei Yisrael Oti leolam, Oti leolam. Veshamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Veshamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Veshamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam. Veshamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Lidorotam Berit Olam.
The Birkat HaGomel prayer expresses our gratitude for the miracle of healing and full restoration to one's health, to family and friends, and indeed, full restoration to life itself. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, hagomel l'chayavim tovot shegimalani kol tov. May God, who has bestowed kindness upon us, continue to bestow goodness upon each of us and restore us to health. Well, there are those in our community who are in need of healing, of body, mind, or spirit. If you have a person in your life, please in just a moment share their name with us as we continue the top of page 38, Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
We keep in our thoughts and prayers Gail Balin, Sue Beiser, Sonny Brodsky, Susan Coburn, Greg Cohen, Linda Colin, Peter Cook, Lynn and Michael Deutschman, Barbara Finkelstein, Jane Friedman, Deborah Goldman, Karen Goldman, Randy Goldman, Bernie Grabowski, Donald Jaffe, Warren Janowitz, Mary Sukatz, Herman Keek, Ryan Kushner, Judith Landau, Pam Lessing, Renee Myers, Pedro Prince, Stephen Reese, Roberta Scheller, Sam Schwartz, Patty Silverstein, Bert Solomon, Dina Stempler, Liz Stern, Max Strauss, Alan Tenenbaum, Tammy Trow, and Mickey Winokur. Okay. And certainly all of those that are with COVID one more time.
Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Page 40, as we rise, we'll continue with the Reader's Kaddish.
Yitkada ve'itkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra kirtei be'amlich malchutei.
B'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayedecha Beit Yisrael Bagala bagala uv'izman kariv
Ve'imeru
Amen. Yesh merabah mevarach le'alam elameho maya yitbarach
Yitzbarach ve'ishtabach, Yitzpar v'yitroma v'yidnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei kudsha
Brichu
le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata.
Tishbechata v'nechemata Damidran b'yama.
Ve'imeru.
Amen. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Page 42 at the top of the page.
Anananananana Adonai. Ananananana sfatai tiftach. Ananananana ofi yagid. Ofi yagid tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana sfatai tiftach. Ananananana ofi yagid. Ofi yagid tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana sfatai tiftach. Ananananana ofi yagid. Ofi yagid tehilatecha.
As we continue silently through page 57. Do this. As we sit amongst the flowers of summer and look forward to more wonderful, warm days, this peaceful prayer allows us to focus on God and the quiet trust that this past year was a challenge, but tomorrow will be a better day. Yehi l'ratzon, found on page 56.
Yehi l'ratzon imrefi, imrefi, v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Yehi l'ratzon imrefi, imrefi, v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Yehi l'ratzon imrefi, imrefi, v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Yehi l'ratzon imrefi, imrefi, v'hegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali.
May be seated. Now, last night at our board meeting, there were some words that I found from the sermon that I was writing for this week that talks about the selection of the first board, the board of directors that was selected by Moses. The story comes from the book of Numbers, where it challenges us to look at the power and the pitfalls of communal leadership. Now, in the Torah, we read about a very dark moment in the history of Israel's wandering in the desert, that no sooner do they leave Mount Sinai than things begin to fall apart. Everyone begins to have a crisis of faith. The people are hungry, and they're tired of eating manna, which was fulfilling everyone. Miriam and Aaron begin to question Moses' leadership, and Moses starts to complain about all the children of Israel. So in a moment of desperation, Moses, where does he yell? He's going to yell at God. So he lashes out at God and says, "Why have you dealt ill with me? I've been your faithful servant. Why have you laid this burden of all these 600,000 people upon me? Did I give birth to these people, O God, and carry them in your bosom as a nursing mother carries an infant?" So Moses was just absolutely worn out. He's tired of carrying the burden of leadership all by himself. So God isn't really willing to intervene and solve the whole problem. Instead, what does God do? He tells Moses that the answer to your problem is create a board of directors. You're supposed to create a board to lead the nation, but of course we know this isn't going to solve the problem. Moses does the math and he realizes God said to create a board of directors of 70 people. But he has a problem because there's 12 tribes, therefore there should be 72 people. That way there would be an equal number of elders from each tribe. But God's instruction, we're not sure why it's written in there exactly like that, but he's told to choose 70, which means some of the tribes are going to have more board members than others. It sounds so familiar to what goes on within the United States, choosing congressional districts. No one is going to be happy with that. So how is Moses going to choose who to include and who to leave out? So there's a midrash, because they don't tell us what happens. The midrash kind of skirts around the issue. They have two solutions for Moses' problem. One explanation is two elders. They're named Eldad and Medad. They were so humble, it's stated, that we shall not seek nor shall we accept the nomination of our leader. Second explanation, Moses has left the choice to chance, and he wrote all 72 names on slips of paper. He puts them in an urn, we're told. Then he picks out the first 70 to become the board members. The only names, Eldad and Medad, stay inside the urn. But here's the extraordinary part I thought of the story, because Eldad and Medad went home, they weren't elected. They begin to prophesy just as though they were elected officials. So alarmed by this, Joshua runs immediately to Moses to report Eldad and Medad, he's stuttering, we're told, is acting like they were members of the board of directors. They weren't board members, and they have no authority to do this. So Moses, he's calm, he's cool, he's all collected. He's not bothered by this. He says to Joshua, why are you angry on my behalf? How bad would it be if all the people were prophets and God put his spirit upon them? So what do we learn from this Midrash and this Torah reading? There's actually 3 lessons to learn from all of this. The first is, no one can lead a community alone. Moses repeatedly errs in assuming that he has to do it all by himself. He felt this maternal responsibility for the people of Israel, but being over-motherly is not a good thing. So God wanted to teach him, become strong, become independent, and become self-reliant. Second lesson is it takes all kinds of people to create a community. Moses represents the professional leadership. His job, create the vision, inspire, instruct people. The elders represent the elected leadership. Their job represent the interests of the community, the 600,000 that are following him, and give kind of a practical shape to the vision. The active leadership of Eldad and Medad, they weren't members of the board, but they were something to contribute into the welfare of the nation. So vision doesn't necessarily come from the top down, and we can see that it comes from within this large community that extends outward. But finally, what's interesting about Eldad and Medad is they teach us that we have something to contribute to our community, that no one has a monopoly on the communal leadership. We express our leadership in so many different ways. You don't have to be a board member to read Torah, to conduct services, participate in Jewish learning. You don't have to be an elected officer to make a guest feel welcome here or to offer comfort to someone that's had a loss. But we need board members. Even more important, we need people like Eldad and Medad who set the example for others by their active engagement in Jewish life. So they're some of my favorite characters, I think, in the Torah, that whether out of humility or pure chance, these two were inspired to lead by simply belonging. They didn't need a title, they didn't need a special honor. They led by personal engagement, and that's what we find certainly with this congregation, so of all those that are not members of our board. Well, President Kennedy said it, I think best. He said, one person can make a difference, and every person should try. So like Moses, Kennedy understood that each of us can make a difference in this world by being the best person we can be, by living our lives with passion and meaning and integrity. And it's so simple. Each of us can make a difference in the world by setting the example for others. Speaking to you and to all, we do have some pretty amazing things coming up that this summer won't end until the holidays appear, apart from the holidays being great. So if you're looking out there at all of us and you're wondering, should I be there for the High Holy Days? You just have to look at the two of us and say, we visited the Gerald Ford Amphitheater. You've been on a lot of stages, but that one's going to be very cool.
Yes. Yeah, we're very excited to be able to use that venue this year. It should be a really unique and special High Holiday.
And how wise was it that we got yelled at last March saying we should do this, we don't know what's going to happen, no, you can't do it, it's too big, it's too expensive. No, this is going to be the best choice of any place in the country.
Yeah, well, nobody else has a space where they can accommodate the people that would like to come to High Holiday services, and we have
safely
an outdoor space. So.
It's going to be, it will truly be amazing. We also, we were going to have her come to be here as the author of Souls of Survivor, but we're going to do it by Zoom. This is on August 26th, Thursday. It's a really interesting book. She lives in Denver. She's a member of congregation in Denver. She grew up in the jungles of Cambodia, raised into a Christian household, and then converted to Judaism. And it talks about her journey. And she'll be on Zoom with us talking about that. It's a fascinating book. Another one thing that's so important, we have the AED machine in the back that saves lives, but not everybody knows how to use it. So we are going to have a class. And we'll have a class, it's on Thursday, August 19th from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. You actually get certified through the class as to learn life-saving skills. And just to have the machine and not know how to use it, we know it's been used so many different times. This town has more machines than anywhere in the country. And it's incredible to learn how to use that and also CPR. And you'll be certified as through the Red Cross for CPR. School's starting. We have our meeting coming up soon.
Yes, we do. We have about 20 students enrolled so far. We anticipate another 20 to 50 students. And we're excited to
really
get started
nice.
again. And we just started, for the first time ever, we're offering a baby and toddler class. Since a room opened up, we share these spaces. And at the Edwards Interfaith Chapel, one of the churches is using many of the classrooms on Sunday, and they are no longer using one of the classrooms, so we are now using it and doing a baby class.
And what we never thought we'd be doing a year ago is offering an anniversary blessing to someone we know is watching the streaming. Yeah. It's kind of like, if you're here, we'd like to do it. But we know the Groblowskis are watching. Helene and Bernie are out there watching somewhere. I wrote to them and I said, will you be watching this? So they are. And it's their 55th wedding anniversary, and they were able to sponsor this so we could stream the service. So let me offer a blessing for them. Almighty God, 55 years ago, and in the presence of their family and friends, they consecrated their love for each other. Their life together has been one of sharing joy and at times sorrow, but all who know and continue to watch your loving devotion to each other and your family, you both have nurtured and expanded upon the promise made 55 years ago as a bride and groom. So surrounded by us and everyone else who's out there in that streaming world, your children, your family, your friends, tonight we take joy in your happiness and pray that you'll continue to share Simcha's happy family celebrations with the gift of years. May you, O God, continue to send Helene and Bernie the blessings of health and happiness. And we'll join together in Shachianu for this occasion.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shachianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh Amen.
Mazel tov out there. Let's return to our prayer books, page 60. We'll rise and join together. Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teit gedula le'otzer bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchalkeinu kahem, ve'goraleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'aretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo,
At this moment in memory of our loved ones who are no longer with us, we join hands in love and remembrance because a link has been broken in the chain that bound us together. Yet strong bonds of home and love hold us one to another. In solemn testimony to that unbroken faith which links the generations one to another, we call to mind those whose yahrzeit we observe this month. Adele Abrams, Mark Albert, Charles Barrison, Jack Balin, Shirley Belcher, Jules Braunstein, Ruth Cohen, Helen Cohn, Cantor Stephen Dubov, Richard Eisel, Lillian Ettinger, Irving Fielden, Beatrice Fliegelman, H. Mitchell Fox, Bernice Doris Garland, Max Gelfand, Ada Goldman, Fred Goldsmith, Florence Goldstein, Harris Herman, Emil Hess, Eileen Joseph, Linda Kahn, Soromini Kalaturin, Saul Kaufman, Susan Kaufman, Dorothy Keller, Kitty Kopalovic, David Landau, Sylvia Lantzman, Arthur Langsman, Paula Lessing, Leo Levy, Samuel Levine, Philip Leibowitz, Ermi Lidenfeld Heller, Florian Linz, Beverly Lopatin, William Benjamin Marks, Bernard Melvin Shapiro, J. George Mitnick, Robert Morris, Sarah Mossman, Claire Numeroff, Dorothy Nurick Landau, Erwin Raymer, Lillian Rosenblatt, Leah Rothenberg, Julie Schechner, Ernest Scheller III, Morris Shore, Erwin Schwabe, Edwin Aaron Schwartz, Murray Shane, William Sigmund, Donald Steinberg, Thelma Stemple, Leonard Stern, Margaret Stringer, Richard Swig, Edith Swirsky, Pauline Wolf, and Julius Wolfen. Anyone else observing a yard site?
Gary Cohen.
The Mourner's Kaddish can be found in our prayer books on page 64, and those who wish may join with me as we say, Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechal beit Yisrael, v'agalav izman kariv v'imramein. Yesh me rabba mevorach le'olamo me'omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, tamhiran v'yalma v'imramein. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imramein. Oseh shalom b'imramav, uyaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imramein. May be seated. We add Janet to a refuah shlema. She had oral surgery. I know, any of us. And it's amazing when you have a root canal that it takes longer than a hip replacement, but it's a bad deal for any of us. So she's home recovering from that, and we'll see if she'll make it tomorrow. So we offer her speedy health on that as well. Adon Olam, are we looking at a special one with these girls? Is this?
I don't know. What should we do for Adon Olam today?
Which one?
Written by a woman.
Thank you to the hearty ones
Good
that came
point.
this evening. And tell
That's true.
Susie, is Susie resting now? Susie's resting?
Ready for her big bike ride? What should we do for Adon Olam?
The regular one.
Oh. It's my favorite request.
What would you like for Adon Olam? Which one?
Traditional is probably the nicest.
Okay.
Which traditional one? My traditional?
Yeah.
The John Denver? Is that my traditional one? Or the Adon Olam, that one?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra leit nasa b'chefsa kol azay melech shemo nikra Adon Olam ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nor Adon Olam ve'hu haya ve'hu hoveh ve'hu yeh b'tifara Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra leit nasa b'chefsa kol azay melech shemo nikra Adon Olam ve'hu echad ve'ein sheni lehamshilo leachbir Adon Olam bli reshit bli tachlit ve'lo ha'oz ve'hamizra Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra leit nasa b'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra Adon olam behu eli v'chai goali v'tzorchav li b'eitzara Adon olam behu nisi umanos li menat kosi b'yom nikra Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra leit nasa b'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra Adon olam beyado avkid ruchi beit ishan ve'ayir Adon olam ve'im ruchi geviyati Adonai li v'lo yira Adon olam asher malach v'terem kol yitzir nivra leit nasa b'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra Adon olam.
We rise, Adonai Oz le'emo yitein, Adonai v'rechet amova shalom. May the Lord grant strength unto his people. Bless all peoples with peace.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pori hagafen l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
And happy anniversary, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
And we have
Shalom.
challah and wine for everyone in the back.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam.